tries to keep the minutes straight, and so it would be nice to have your name and address.
Oh, okay, Joe Katkosin, Katkocin, 1606 Forest Bridge Road.
Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, we're still moving along, we're still with you.
So we have a proposal from Gannett Fleming. As you may remember, we completed some significant HVAC improvements to the roof of the Caddy Shack, or the Caddy Shack restaurant, on the roof of the restaurant. The front of that building, there are structures and old units that are no longer needed. So we're looking to remove the unneeded units, and as well as redo the roof. So rather than having a flat roof, which has consistently caused us issues relative to leaks, we'd like to put it as a peak roof. That requires a design by a structural engineer sealed to get the permit. So ask for authorization to accept Gannett Fleming's proposal to complete that design for the improvements to the Caddy Shack roof. That would be funded by the Caddy Shack fund. No taxpayer dollars would be going to that. It's an enterprise fund that is self-sufficient.
And that's a not to exceed price.
That's not to exceed.
So moved.
Second. I have a regular motion that's been seconded. Anything on the question? Stewart? Audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries.
My replacement, if you have any questions.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Can I go into the Creekview interchange?
Sure.
At this point, so we now have, the township now has a brand spanking new signal at Creekview and 581. It's a long time coming for the township, but before we can thank PennDOT or congratulate ourselves, I want to make sure that we're addressing all ancillary issues. So in terms of Old Creekview Road, I know that there was going to be some paving done in that area before the project began, but because of the project and where PennDOT was staging everything at, that aspect was delayed. Also want to make sure that PennDOT's has remediated, that the staging area to where it needs to be.
Right, so we're doing the final walkthrough on December 6th to confirm just that the areas have been restored properly that were affected by PennDOT's project. Relative to the paving of Old Creekview Road, if you recall, we had got authorization to purchase the material and work with East Pennsboro to pave the road. It is our intent to make that request of East Pennsboro sometime this spring. Hopefully, if they have staff and availability, we would make the request to use their equipment and our manpower and purchase material to actually overlay Old Creekview Road. As a fallback, we'll likely put Old Creekview Road in the 2020 road resurfacing project in the event that can't work. So we'll have some fallback measure to make sure that road is brought to some.
Is there anything that can be done right? I know we're getting well into winter at this point. Is there anything else that can be done right now to the roads, at least temporarily?
Potholes. We will address potholes. I directed staff to do a pothole patrol, is what we call it. This week they did that. I did not confirm that they visited Old Creekview Road, but I will make sure. I'll check on that tomorrow to confirm if there's anything out there that is a safety issue relative to paving the street in its entirety this year. I think it's a little too late in the year for that.
I appreciate that. Then another aspect of the interchange was the effect on the development at the Summit development and coming out of there. And I know, Keith, you were taking a look at that.
Right, so the project engineer, I sent an email expressing the concerns that were relayed to Chief Junkin by some members of the Hampton Summit HOA requesting consideration for a stop sign on the off-ramp headed eastbound on Creekview Road. He confirmed that he would send that to the review team to see if that's something that PennDOT would permit. Actually drove out there today just to see the signal in operation and turned into Hampton Summit development. Didn't have any sight distance issues or concerns with speed of vehicles, but since the residents raised the concern, we at least asked PennDOT to evaluate.
Okay, and then lastly, at the end of the line there to Lamb's Gap Road, I'll put you in touch with some residents that live in the Bunker Hill area in terms of that light, in terms of coming out of there and some of the difficulties they're facing, in terms of awareness of when that light is changing for opposing traffic coming from Creekview onto Lamb's Gap, as well as when they get the signal and some of the traffic coming out from the Wegman side towards, from Lamb's Gap 1 to Creekview. The right turn signal is almost nonstop there, and so there's a little stoppage from that point. So it makes it difficult for those folks coming up from Bunker Hill. So I'll put you in touch here, see if we can't address, if we can't make any.
There should be no conflict between the green coming out of Bunker Hills and that right turn arrow. That right turn arrow showing you when there's no conflict in any other direction.
Okay, well, I'll put you in touch here and see if we can get everybody on the same page with that. I know in past year, we've talked about a dedicated left turn lane from Lamb's Gap 1 to Creekview. That's been reviewed by PennDOT, and it's not warranted at this point.
Correct. It's not warranted, and quite, it would have a negative effect on the flow through that. Every time you have an isolated phase, you're reducing green time overall. So at this point, it's not warranted and not recommended.
All right, I'll put you in touch here with the residents, and we'll see if we can get them on the same page.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else for Jeremy?
But otherwise, thank you for staff's work on getting that project done. It's been a long time coming, and like I said, it's nice to see it finally come to fruition.
And fully funded by PennDOT.
Okay, we're down to the township manager's part of the report.
Good evening, Commissioners. I ask for your consideration to approve conditional appointment of the recommended applicant to the position of Public Works Department Small Engine Mechanic Grade 7 to serve a 6-month probationary period effective as soon as practicable and upon satisfactory completion of a background check. This position would be utilized to fill one of the individuals that were here earlier this evening that will soon be retiring.
Second.
I have a regular motion, it's been seconded, is there anything on the question? Audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries.
I will update you on the progress of the municipal building and some action items that I'll ask you to consider this evening, so bear with me as I run through these. Work performed since October. Site work and stormwater facility construction continues, but is almost finished, at least for underground subsurface utilities. Roof installation is underway. Metal stud framing is underway. The front portion of the parking lot has curbs poured and the base paving completed. And they finished the installation of concrete masonry block in the police section of the building. So unless there's any questions on the progress, I'll move on to the possible action items. First action item that I'd ask you to consider in accordance with the contract documents is to make a payment to Myco Mechanical in the amount of $40,770. The remaining contract portion for that contractor is at $656,295. So that payment is in accordance with your approved project.
Second.
I have a regular motion, it's been seconded to pay the $40,770. Anything on the question? Audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries.
And of course, with the contract, there was a requirement of 10% retainage associated with the contractor's work, so that as you get to the end of the project, if there's punch list concerns, you still have some leverage over that contractor. I have a series of change orders for your consideration this evening. I'll read them all at once if you don't mind, and then you can ask if there's any questions from the board or the audience. Change order number 5 from ECI Construction would be an add cost of $1,230 to modify door hardware to the IT server room, permitting it to have a secured access so that you have an idea of who's accessing that room and a log of who's accessing that room. Also, change order number 6 to ECI Construction is an add of $568 for repairs to a sinkhole in the proposed rain garden. Change order number 8 to ECI Construction is an add in the amount of $1,718. This was at the recommendation of staff to add additional pavement binder at the entrance to the municipal building parking lot, which is a boulevard entrance, so this would eliminate or reduce premature failing of the subsurface of the parking lot. Following change order number 1 to Midstate Mechanical would be an add in the amount of $14,915. This is required as a result of PPL not supporting the original concept design of bringing power directly from overhead utility pole on South Sporting Hill Road, but rather has to bring it from existing utility poles in the Delbrook development near the access drive to the Sporting Hill Station. This then would go overhead over that access drive and then underground to the building. Change order number 2 to Midstate Mechanical is a deduct in the amount of $4,584 as the contractor eliminated the design location to bring the original electricity to the site. Change order number 3 to Midstate Mechanical would be a deduct in the amount of $4,432 for modification to the lightning protection for the building. You'll end up with the same protection, just a different design. And change order number 4 to Midstate Mechanical is an add of $220 for 2 CCTV and secured access. I'm proud to report, though, in the overall scheme of the total project cost, we are sitting with a change order deduct in excess of $32,000 at this point.
I have a regular motion that's been seconded to approve the change orders. Is there anything on the question? Audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries. Thank you very much.
One final matter, I need an approval of a contract modification to the architect for redesign of the proposed rain garden to address some stormwater and sinkhole concerns, and that amount would be an amount not to exceed $7,815.
Regularly moved and seconded. Anything on the question? Audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries.
As the commissioners are aware, we received $400,000 CFA multimodal grant for improvements to the Carlisle Pike, adding a second lane from the 581 overpass to the intersection with South Sporting Hill Road. The commissioners have committed to, in your 2020 budget, a match of approximately up to $300,000, depending upon what those project costs ultimately come out as. But we would need to retain a traffic engineering firm to design and help with the construction administration of this project. It's a much needed project. It's one that was recognized in your comprehensive plan, as well as a comprehensive transportation improvement study from 2008. So we have 2 proposals before you this evening. Jeremy was point man for reaching out to up to 5 firms requesting that they consider submitting a proposal. Only 2 firms submitted. The low professional service price would be with Dahlwood Engineering in the amount not to exceed $73,900. By way of comparison, the alternate price by HRG was $109,000. So if it pleases the board, it would be staff's recommendation that you consider approving the proposal from Dahlwood in order to proceed with the design and acceptance of this grant.
So moved. Second.
Well, and the motion is subject to approval by the solicitor, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any questions on the motion? In the audience? All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed, motion carries.
The next item, Commissioners, I don't need action this evening from you. Just advise me if you wish for me to reach out to any of the individuals whose terms are expiring at the end of this year on the various boards, commissions, and authorities by which the Board of Commissioners appoints those individuals, or if you intend to reach out to those individuals directly.
Okay, on that subject, please, members, let me know. So traditionally, what we do is the liaison to the various boards makes a recommendation. For instance, Sewer Authority liaison's John Gaspich, so he would make the recommendation. So let me know if you're going to continue on the boards that you're liaisons to, or if you would like to make a change. The one that is obvious that nobody is Carol Pfeiffer. Carol is our library representative and doing an excellent job, and I would certainly hope that she would serve another year if she's allowed. I know there's some bylaws over at the library about how long they can serve, but I think, if you remember, one fellow, we had somebody in a long time until we found out what the bylaws were. But anyhow, if she's willing to do it, I would suggest that everybody would love to have Carolyn continue on. But otherwise, if you all let me know whether you're gonna continue in the liaison that you have, or if you wanna make a change. And if somebody wants to make a change, then I'll do my best efforts to find somebody else. Okay, so with you.
You got it.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. Kathleen?
So, when you're talking about these, the commissions, the planning commissions, the zoning commissions, so I thought those would be, advertised publicly, that people can apply, and anybody that would, then their applications would be reviewed, and, once someone's commission is up.
We have people that do send us letters and give us their resumes and offer. We have more people willing to serve in Hampton Township than we have positions to put them in, frankly. Because this is a very, very generous township with people that are willing to do that. So the answer is, we haven't had the need to go out and beg people to serve. We have plenty of people that have sent us letters.
But when someone's commission is up, like if you serve for 2 years or 4 years, and that time's up, then it becomes like a new application process, and you should take all applications and review them, and then decide from those applications. That seems what the proper thing to do is.
And if anybody does have an interest, they're welcome to submit. And so,
Absolutely.
like
Well,
for the planning commission, for example, which is currently under my auspices, I asked staff earlier this week because I know two of those members, Craig Malott and Justin Leventree, are not planning to continue serving as the primary members. That there's likely to be some vacancies, particularly on the planning commission. So I asked staff earlier this week here for anybody that submitted an interest on that front, and if you or anybody else in the audience or that you know would have an interest, please let us know as soon as possible.
So is that
Please submit your
publicly,
resume along with that.
okay, is that publicly advertised?
This is a public meeting.
Is it publicly advertised on, like, okay, so the meeting has to be, these meetings have to be publicly advertised in some shape or form?
We don't go out to the newspapers and
Do you put
submit that.
notice on the website that these vacancies are open and you're taking, people can submit applications?
The direct answer to that is no, not currently, nor have we in the past. However, at any point throughout the year, if someone expresses an interest in serving, we keep a file of the individual's resume and bios so that when a vacancy becomes available, the Board of Commissioners can review that file and make a determination as to the best candidate.
So that you know, Kathleen, and I tried to get maybe I was not good in getting the point across. In a lot of municipalities, you really have to go out and beg people to serve on the different boards, even to run for office. If you get a write-in from one person, you win. I mean, this Hampton Township people, I stand at the poll every time there's an election, whether I'm running or not, I stand at a poll. And people come up to me invariably and say, I would love to get involved. And I say, here's my card, send me your resume, I give it to Keith, we put it in the file. So we have so many people that we don't need to advertise for people. We have people that are more than happy to serve. There's a couple people in this very room who have said, I would love to serve if it's available. I'm more than happy to do it, and I've asked for resumes from them too. So this isn't, Hampton Township is blessed with so many people that have come up and said, I want to say, we have people serving on boards that make a fortune in their businesses, and they come here and serve for nothing. It really is, we're blessed, that's all I can say. We really are fortunate to have some of the best people in central Pennsylvania volunteering to serve on our boards. We don't need to advertise.
Well, I would request that we would follow some proper rules and.
It is proper.
What we're
not
doing is not
improper.
improper.
That's
Let's
not,
make that clear.
please, Kathleen, we're not improper because we have plenty of people willing to serve. That's not improper.
Okay,
Yeah.
if you're standing at Hampton 7 at the poll and you're handing out your business card and talking to people, people at Hampton too don't have the same opportunity to have that interaction with you
With me.
to do that, okay, to know, okay, there's, so my point is, if it's on a public, like on the website, that, okay, the planning commission is going to have 2 vacancies, here, this is when you need to submit your application, this is the application deadline, you review them, and then you pick from those people that apply. That's just, I don't know that I'm crazy to think that that should be the proper way that something should be done, than keeping a file full of resumes that you just sift through when you need them. I mean, I mean, you don't do that for, our bids. You know, we just talk, you know, we get bids, we put notice out, we submit bids. I don't think there's anything wrong with.
Just
following-
post it on the website.
Right, fine. I don't have a problem with posting.
No.
I don't,
No, but I mean, when-
absolutely don't have a problem with doing it.
I can tell you, on the sewer authority, Louise Knight, her term expires December 19th. She's probably going to be the new chair of the sewer authority. We're not replacing her. I mean, that's just the way it is. She's a highly intelligent, very professional. She's an attorney. She works in that industry, so.
So then why do we even have terms if people are grandfathered in?
They're not
You
grandfathered.
just said she's not gonna resign. You said she's resigned, her term's over.
And why wouldn't we appoint someone that has served, and met all her fiduciary responsibilities?
Because
Well, we just, that's fine.
because there's a proper way to do things. And it's not like, you know, we're not a high school club, we're the Hampton Township, a government agency. You know,
We have some of the best people in central Pennsylvania serving on our boards. That's not a high school club, Kathleen.
I'm not,
We have
I'm not,
wonderful
I'm,
people volunteering.
We've heard
I don't
you,
know,
and
I hear what you're saying.
I concur.
We're gonna put it
We're
on
gonna put
the,
it on the website
we're gonna put it on the
and
website.
get applications.
and
And it's
people,
up to the liaison from the board to determine who serves in those capacities.
Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say it's on your website already. People are listed with their term expiration dates.
but is there an application, like say, an application deadline or something, that information about how to apply for people?
There is not, but if, for example, Louise Knight is a sitting member of the sewer authority and expresses a desire to be reappointed after her term period, the board has traditionally taken advantage of the fact that the individual has working knowledge of the authority and has provided good guidance. There have been times when someone is up for reappointment where the board has indicated to them, thank you, we appreciated your past service. We understand that you wish to continue serving, but they don't reappoint them. I'll do whatever the board.
So that's exactly
Can we
what
have a
I'm,
conversation? You're so abrasive. I will do whatever the board wishes to do. And so Commissioner Gaspich has directed me, and the
Make a
board
motion.
concurs,
Make a
I
motion.
that the
I make a
information
motion
will
to
be posted.
post all appointments to any boards and authorities on the Hampton Township website, so any interested resident who has not already submitted and expressed their interest in serving their community has the opportunity to submit a formal letter and a resume expressing their interest and qualifications to serve on any such board.
I have a regular motion, is there a second?
Be happy to second that motion.
Thank you so much.
Regularly moved and seconded to advertise, any vacancies on any of our boards on our website. Is there any question on the motion?
I have a
Oh,
question